Okay. Everybody, I don't even know how to say that. The one person that's watching us.
Thank you a little bit.
That's right. There she is. He was worried because you were showing up a little bit late. We didn't see anybody on.
It's like zero.
I told
She's
him.
watching or whatnot.
I know. I was like, no, she's probably pooping.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true, and I'm going to fight with this mic tonight. I
Awesome.
can feel it. Everything else has gone good. So
I mean, we were done and ready ahead of schedule.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of bored. We're like, oh.
Right.
So anyway, how was your week?
We're not.
How was your week?
You start. You start. How was your week this week? Holy
Mine was kind of lazy.
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, we, Canyon. So she didn't buy any beads.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been shopping on.
whatnot.
Oh, okay. But no, I was kind of lazy. Canyon couldn't come up because he had to work the day after Christmas. And,
Right.
6-hour drive just isn't good. And then Gunner had to work on Christmas, and he had the stepkids were in town. So
Gotcha.
when they finished, it was just the four of us, and we got up, had a little bit of breakfast, and then just chilled until lunchtime. We had, simple lunch with ham and just a normal, it wasn't like crazy stuff. And then we just kind of sat around. And for the last few days, it feels like, I've been running some candy and built a website for the candy business. But other than that, I just feel like we've just been hanging out and relaxing a little bit. And that don't happen often.
Right.
And you've got like the total opposite going on.
Well, just for some reason, and we're going to have to talk to the school board. There's no reason to have 3 weeks off.
Right.
They're not going to remember anything. But, Christmas was good. Christmas was real good. The weekend of my birthday in March, Mary and I are going to take one of those scenic Virginia rail tours out of Stanton.
Okay.
So really looking forward to that.
That's exciting.
Got a Bo Jackson jersey.
Okay.
And then they came out and whooped the Chargers.
That's good.
And beat the Chiefs.
Bo Jackson was a beast back in the day.
He was.
I remember
he
Techno Bowl.
Like 4 or 5.
Yeah, Techno Bowl. He was a beast in that one.
Oh yeah.
In that video game. Yeah.
Well, anytime you run so hard, you can't stop till you get in the locker room.
Right.
That's a beast.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Yeah. So.
Well, good. And then you're ramping up for this weekend too, right? You got like 182 people coming to your house.
It's somewhere in that area.
Yeah, valet parking or.
Get the name and a picture of the person that parks your car.
That's
we
right.
do not have a valet.
Oh yeah, you had a stolen car at the bottom of your hill.
Yeah,
right?
a couple months ago. Yeah,
would not be good for you.
But here's the funniest part of that story. I don't know if we covered it when it happened. Mary was worried about it, but it was close enough to another car in the neighborhood that I just assumed it was them and they couldn't get up. They had a transmission issue or what have you. Nope. Cop came up later that day going, hey, do you know where this person lives? I have no idea what that name is.
Right.
Around here, we don't know a whole lot of names, but we recognize faces. And if anybody comes up on, hey, I need a hand, we're in. What's their name? I got no clue.
Right. We know where they live down the road here.
But my guess is if they said they lived on Back Creek, I bet they live up that hill.
Right.
So.
And they had stolen the car?
Yep. They had stolen it from Lionberger Construction.
Oh, goodness. I know Sam out there. Yeah. Our daughters, or my daughters cheered with Sam's daughter at Hidden Valley and stuff.
Okay.
So I know Mr. Lionberger. He comes in the McAdoo's and gets to-go food sometimes too.
There you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Stole it from the company. It's hard because I know that there's a construction company that I know of, and they have fired employees and they've taken the vehicle and the tools and stuff.
Right.
And you have to actually prove that you've told them they can't use the vehicles anymore and things like that. It's like some craziness that you have to go through to.
Right.
I don't even understand. So
hard to say.
But no, so our New Year's is nothing. It's same.
Right.
Just
No,
chilling.
we got like 63 people coming between Florida and Ohio and other parts of Virginia and Tennessee. And oh, yeah. We got them coming from all up and down the East Coast.
They all driving RVs or
No. The Tennessee folk, I think, are already where they're going to be. I think most of the Florida people are where they're going to be. No, we actually, the one we bought with a couple other people is actually parked out there because they need all the beds they can get.
right.
You know, because about 53 of them are going to be staying in the same property.
Oh wow.
And it's a log, and that one is a log cabin with a basement.
But it's not your property.
No.
That's good.
No, it's not. No, they're just going to come over, and yeah, because I had to take the brisket for that out this morning to thaw so that I could get it on Saturday morning.
Mhm.
God, that thing is huge.
We ought to, if they were staying at your property, we could do some kind of little fake things saying people are already starting to show up for Floyd Fest. And you're renting out property up there.
I like that.
This owner is renting out property. People are going to Floyd Fest. They're already showing up.
That's right.
So, and they're actually, I don't know if I have it in here tonight or not. They're actually up there getting the grounds and stuff ready for Floyd Fest, even though it's not for a while. But.
Right, but I mean, we covered shortly after the Blue Ridge Fest, I think, that they had decided they were bringing Floyd back.
And so that's exciting. We actually, January 15th, I have it on my calendar. They're opening up for vendor spots. So I'm going to try to see if I can get our candy up there for Floyd Fest.
Okay, there you go.
So ain't nothing greater than a
Oh
bunch
my
of
God.
hippies that have the
I was going to
munchies.
say a bunch of people smoking weed and doing
And
drugs.
yeah, you need the munchies. You need the munchies up there. They may let us in just because of our name.
Right.
So that's quite funny.
So what's going on in the community?
There's some residents over in the Williamson Road area, and I've got a mint in my mouth. I'm gonna step out and throw it away.
Okay.
Make my mouth water.
But over out in Williamson, in northeast Roanoke, they got the residents are voicing some concerns about the new development that they're talking about putting out there.
So they're putting out a mental place for mental health, mental
and drug abuse.
Yeah, mental and drug abuse facility. The area and the people in that area are concerned, first of all, how are the people getting there?
Right.
There's several facilities on the Williamson Road area that they could go to. So how many is too many?
Right.
And then it's right down the street where they're wanting to put it. It's right down the street from the ABC store and all that. So the community has grave concerns, and they don't deny that it's needed.
Right.
But why not some other area that doesn't have one that has problems like southeast area, northeast, and there are some there too. But,
right.
Well,
my thing is, and I mean, this is coming from a guy who lives in the county for a reason. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to bring in Trader Joe's and that kind of thing, why are you just automatically signing up another drug rehab joint to go in the middle of the other three?
Right.
It's kind of like pizza on 419, Mellow Mushroom, Blaze,
or car washes.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's just, why do we really need another pizza joint? Come on, folks.
Right.
Because I remember when Blaze opened, I was like, they could have called that Brave Pizza.
Have you had it yet?
We have. We tried it shortly after it opened with the daughter. And
now, is that one that you go through and kind of tell them what you want on your pizza as you walk through?
Yeah.
Because Kenyon and I up in DC, and he couldn't remember. He thought it was Blaze, but he couldn't remember at all. When he lived in Richmond, he went to VCU, and we went to a pizza place, and it was like that. You start with your crust, and you walk just like Subway.
Yeah.
And you just tell them what you want on your pizza.
What kind of sauce? Pizza sauce. What's the difference?
And so, I didn't know if that was the same one. I've eaten at the Panda Express, and honestly, I'd rather go down here to the local China Dragon and get there. Much better, not as commercial.
And I don't know if it's because it was the opening weekend, but ever since I saw Panda Express was coming, I've been going, I love Rangoon. I love crab rangoons. I love, egg rolls. Man, I think all they had was like pork egg roll,
Uh-huh.
which isn't bad, but
Right.
but the Rangoon was like cream cheese Rangoon. There was no
No crab in
crab.
there, nothing.
I mean, it wasn't even an option of
Right.
crab. It was a cream cheese Rangoon. Yeah, no,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, I ain't coming back here until they up the menu.
Right. Yeah. And I'd gotten
Yeah.
a spring roll from there, and it was just as greasy as could. And not that, I mean, most Chinese food's greasy,
Right.
but it was just like dripping with, I was like, it was translucent because it was so greasy. I was like, I'm not good. So now I'd much rather go down to China Dragon and take care of them. And,
without a doubt.
Much better food. Have you eaten, and I think Roanoke needs one of these, have you eaten at Noodles and Company?
I have not.
Man.
Not, but it does sound right on.
Yeah, it's amazing. They have one in Lynchburg, and actually the week we went up to the aquarium up there.
Right.
On the way back, Tegan and I stopped at Noodles and Company there,
Okay.
and so good. I mean, it's kind of like the Subway of noodles. You tell them what kind of noodle you want. And they've got everything from penne to macaroni and cheese to like pan noodles, like different types of Oriental noodles.
Huh.
And so you tell them what base you want, and then you tell them what meat you want, and then kind of what you want in it. So,
I'd be all in it.
Yeah, it's so good. Look, said he's Chinese. Not all of them is greasy. We haven't bitten you yet, Lux. Welcome. You haven't popped in and said hi to us in a little while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. We're just talking about the I don't know how much you'd watch, but the development over on Williamson, and just then we got off on a tangent of restaurants. So
because that's what big guys do.
That's what two old dude water thing. Yeah, I like some Mexican food, and I'm sure it's Tex-Mex or whatever.
Right.
But I do like El Rodeo here.
Right. We found El Mezcal is probably our favorite.
Is that down near Tanglewood?
Yeah, it's the one that I think it used to be El Rodeo down from Chuck E. Cheese next to KFC.
Now it was before us. The Mezcal was something else, and then it opened as something. But whatever that middle one was, we ate there, and I guess their air conditioning was
all the
out for a
chairs say
while.
La Fiesta. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but we ate there, and I mean, it was like 102 in the restaurant.
Oh wow!
It just was not enjoyable.
Right.
I felt like I was in Mexico.
Yeah, no, my wife is into some spicy Mexican. So
yeah, we don't do pace at all.
New York City.
Yeah, no pace. But we love Mexican at the house too. So we've tried a bunch. Selena got some kind of from was it El Roja or whatever it is. Yeah, Mary, yeah, it was nasty before that one. Yeah, it was not a good Mexican restaurant. We were just like, oh no. But what's the one that we'd have everywhere now? The Rojas.
El Rio?
No. Oh, Taco Roja. Taco
Rojas.
Yeah. So she had some kind of cactus drink. She's like, oh, it's supposed to be good for you.
Right.
It was like thick snot. She tried to slow. Yeah, she couldn't do it. She's like, it was $10, but I just can't. And I mean, it was like as you pulled the straw up, it was just like dangling.
Right.
Like, no.
And in my Mexican restaurant, I almost want to have to point to what I want because they don't speak that good of English.
That's right.
Yeah, and the guys in the kitchen are there because they speak zero English.
Yep, that's exactly right.
That's the Mexican food out
right. But I can tell you he said he's spoiled in Cali with international food. I can understand that. We have a lot here now.
We really do.
It's really expanding, and most, I would say most of it's probably pretty authentic.
I would say because Mary says El Mezcal is pretty close, and I mean she's made a couple trips to Honduras and the Salvador's on layovers and stuff. So yeah,
so I don't know, but yeah, I've been to Cali a couple times.
Of course, she found Wendy's at the El Salvador
right, probably
airport,
so. So bouncing back, and we're going to get off the back on subject.
Okay, no more restaurants.
Can you hear us now?
Oh, did y'all stick with us? Mary did.
So hopefully you can hear us.
Hola, hola. 8:19 to 8:25. Come on, guys. Couldn't give us 6.
So we're good.
Lux is here.
So we had unplugged everything, plugged it all back in. Nothing
Still
worked.
nothing.
Yeah. So when in doubt, we just went ahead and restart the.
Unplug it, plug it back in.
Yeah, we went ahead and restart the whole computer, and evidently it worked. I don't know. We got.
Lux says we're louder than ever.
Are we too loud now? Because we can fix that.
Yeah, that's a quick and easy fix.
That should have fixed it, maybe. So let's go to our full. There we go. We'll get rid of this
now
other thing.
Man, the closer you get, the uglier I get.
Me too. So it don't matter.
Okay, so we've covered most of the restaurants in the area, and
we were talking about how
And-
good
and-
Noodles and Company was.
Yeah.
And
and the residents voicing their concerns.
so we're going to jump right in here. I'm glad we were able to come back.
Me
Hopefully
too.
whoever was with us stayed. I know Lux and
Yep.
Little Bit did.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. So fingers crossed we stay with it. So I didn't realize this, and I guess I should have. I've lived here most of my life, but I think most of that happened before my life.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
581, when they put 581 through and built a civic center, that was all for the good of Roanoke.
The community.
Yeah, so good for the community. But they also destroyed a ton of houses and Black-owned businesses and things like that through there. I don't know. I mean, typically before you do eminent domain, you have to offer money and
Right.
all that. So before my time, I don't know if that was held up in court or whatever. So
Right.
now Roanoke City is trying to come up with an apology because evidently the city and no government ever follows up with their promises. But
Right.
the
Right.
city had promised a bunch of different things and none of it ever happened.
Right.
So the city's working on an apology to the community that they're drafting up, and some of the community people are like, we want reparations, we want money. Just the apology is not good. So they're trying to come up with some kind of thing that it may appease everybody.
Right.
So,
Well,
but yeah,
nobody's ever worked for more, gotten a higher hourly rate, worked harder to be so broke.
yeah,
They
absolutely.
I'm sure most of it is just a matter of, hey, if we can get some money out of this.
Yeah. And then the city has Roanoke City, and I don't know, that's money wasted again. They've joined the class action lawsuit against the insulin, the pharmacies that are the pharmaceutical companies with the insulin prices
Right.
and stuff. So,
Right. I'm pretty sure the guy that originally came up with insulin decided not to patent it.
Right.
So that he could give it for as cheap as he could.
Mhm.
But it is what it is.
So my personal opinion, and it probably gets into politics more so, but I believe that if our government gave money to these pharmaceutical companies to come up with a new drug or to come up with that drug or whatever, in the research for those drugs, then at that point, they used the money that I pay taxes with
Right.
to fund that. Therefore, I'm owner in that drug.
I'm part owner.
Yeah, I'm part owner in the drug that they
At least give
invented.
me an employee discount.
Yeah, so I'm not for government stepping in and mandating all this stuff. But the other point, I watched a thing on the news and it talked about, they asked one of these pharmaceutical companies, how come the medicine in America is $2,000 a month, and in Australia it's $7.
FDA.
And it said we can have it patented here, we can't in Australia.
Well, I know Mary said she got sick when she went to Honduras, and you could just walk in the pharmacy and go, "Hey, I need some penicillin." Okay, here you
That's
go.
kind of what it should be.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody's out there abusing penicillin.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
but yeah, and so like I said, I don't believe that the government should, but they all should say, hey,
They should
You
keep
know,
their money.
we gave
their
you-
pocketbook out of the
yeah,
workers,
yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yeah, we gave you this much money to research this, and this is what you came up with. We don't charge our people for it.
Right,
And if we do, it's cost.
right,
Whatever the cost is, that's
Right.
what we're going to pay.
exactly.
You don't get extra from it.
And they're probably making a dime in Honduras. So yeah, $5.
Yeah. I don't understand it. So,
Yeah, I don't get it. Something that is very near and dear to my heart. A toast to non-alcoholic drinks. Consumer Report shares the top picks to ring in the new year. I didn't read the list.
it wasn't really a list.
If you want to drink a lot and not get drunk, milk is on the back wall at every Kroger.
The list wasn't really like a list of, because I was looking for brand names and stuff in the article, but it just talked about the sparkling seltzers or whatever, like the grape juice, sparkling grape juice or whatever you can get.
Right.
That's the number one pick for people that aren't going to drink and toast. And then we always did that when we were younger,
Right.
And the kids
Right.
were younger. We didn't drink, so we just toasted with the sparkling stuff. And
Right.
Tegan tried to throw us under the bus this year on that. Always. The last few years, she hasn't wanted to stay up for New Year's.
Right.
Before that, we kind of were like, you're probably a little too young because she is nasty when she's tired.
Right.
So somebody asked her if she was going to toast in, and my parents always in bed. They never let me. Girl, we gave you the option the last few years, and you're like, nah, I'm going to go sleep. I'm good.
Right.
So this year, all of a sudden, it's a big deal. Can we let her?
Right.
This one is probably true and dear to Mary's heart, because this shows how well they take care of their people.
Exactly.
So
what kind of program is this lady on?
That's right. So Roanoke woman Vergie Bauman turned 107 a couple days ago.
And apparently Mary and I were in charge because she got a German chocolate cake.
See, that's my favorite cake.
Me too.
Nobody at our
Mary's
house likes
too.
it. Yeah, nobody at our house likes it, because if you don't cook it right, it's dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But she celebrated with a German chocolate cake, and she's at Friendship Manor.
Nice. I like it. Well, Virginia Tech, apparently they beat the Green Wave of Tulane 41-20 in the Military Bowl yesterday.
I think they just make up these names.
They do.
They're like, hey, can we make some money on advertising?
Exactly.
Let's do a bowl.
Exactly.
Because they don't deserve it. And typically, and I'm a Hokie fan,
Right.
I don't think they did anything spectacular this year to go
No.
to a bowl.
Right.
But
I mean, did
it's
they
all
go
about the money.
500? Because anymore, I think that's the that's the new criteria.
Everybody
Get a
gets
bowl
a
game.
trophy bowl game right there.
Exactly.
Awful.
And maybe for a team like Tulane or Tech or what have you, they didn't get as much national TV time.
Right.
So they may actually have some of their starters in their bowl game.
Right.
I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I know that none of the names I have heard all year will be playing in tomorrow's bowl game.
So because they don't want them to get hurt for the season?
Half of them are going to the portal, half of them are going to the NFL.
Oh.
So they decided to set out the bowl game. But personally, I'm old school. I think if you committed, you committed.
Yeah. Play.
You play the game.
Well, it's kind of like the Pro Bowl now. A lot of those players don't want to really
even watch
play.
it anymore.
Yep, they don't want to play because they don't want to get hurt.
But it's a tag football game lately.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I don't know.
Well, we're down to 0 again. As I started writing this for our show tonight, and I guess it was probably about 5:30 or 6.
Right.
The police were over on 1700 block of Mormon Avenue. Somebody had been shot.
Okay.
Had a gunshot wound. I don't think it was life-threatening, but
we
they didn't
don't
have
like to
any of
jump
the
into
news.
this victory thing. We're gonna
It's something new now, right?
Here.
It's something they called it something new. Last week we had talked
What's
about
good, Roanoke?
yeah, what's happening or what's good or
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Love it.
What's good is we need new leadership. everywhere though, not
Right.
just Roanoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. we talk about rookie mistakes and beginners numbers. Had a Bedford man face charges after bringing his gun and his carry-on at Roanoke Airport. Come on, guys. You know they're checking.
How do you not know that you had a gun and you carry on?
Did anybody else pack your bag?
Yeah, maybe his wife.
Right.
I'm going to show that. I'm going to show him he's leaving without me.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see if he's up on divorce.
I think if I told my wife that I was headed to Disney without her,
Right.
she'd probably plant a gun in my bags.
Right.
I think she would.
I don't know.
Roanoke Council approves measures for a new police and municipal building. It's including a indoor gun range. It's over on.
The old one's on code, or the current one's on code.
No, that's Roanoke County. So it's a
Right.
Roanoke City
Oh, okay.
has
Gotcha.
approved. And, I forgot what I had it on my little sheet. Anyway, it's a new building. It's gigantic. It's like 35,000 square
Oh, nice.
feet and all that.
Nice.
So they've approved it. It's a $10.6 million project.
Okay. That's not as big as I thought.
No, but I think, the Roanoke City Police Office is just, it's outdated and
Right.
old as dirt, but
Right.
they probably need something new.
Gotcha. Well, talking about technology and the economy, Pennsylvania County's broadband project has officially connected 1,500 sites. Only 15,000 to go, but
They're hoping to get everybody done by 2025.
okay.
Because I don't know if you've gone through, like, they did a lot of this up in Floyd too.
Right.
And so if you go up through there, most of those roads are 2 lanes.
Right.
So they got to shut down a lane to run the
Fiber
to run the
here.
fiber through there. And so, yeah, it's not an easy task.
Right.
So, and plus a lot of those areas, especially when you get up into Pennsylvania County, you get up into Floyd, a lot of those, and even Catawba, you run into a lot of, because you're in Southwest Virginia, you run into a lot of rock,
Right. Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
not
dear
easy to get
God.
through either.
No, it's
So,
not.
yeah.
And where there's not rock right off the street, the soybean or the corn comes straight to the
Mhm.
road.
Yeah. And I'm
Okay.
sure a lot in these rural areas, a lot of those telephone poles may not even be able to handle some of the weight that goes
Right.
through there or whatever they do.
Right.
So who knows? But that's exciting because I do think nowadays, and until it goes out for everybody needs access to the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
look at the housing market. I think the National Association of Realtors has come out and said, that, in November, the housing purchases plummeted.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with lack of inventory. The rates are high still.
Right.
Here in the Roanoke area, there's 793 houses on the market.
Which is still way low from a normal market.
Yeah, normal market, we were about 1,500 to 2,200 during the March and, during that spring market time.
Right.
And now we're at 793, which is a lot more than, months
22.
back where it was only 411 houses.
Right.
So it's gotten better. The median sales price is 273,000.
Right.
And then, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
New listings are down 8%
Yeah.
from a year ago.
Which sounds bad, and as a realtor, it is. But that's still up from a whole lot of the rest of the country, guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There are areas that are down 20, 30%. So
I think, you can definitely see where our market's improving. Like I said, not pre-COVID, but 2 years ago, we were looking at 411 houses on the market. Now it's almost doubled. So that's a good thing. Our market's it's getting better. Home prices are still going up, but for those who are waiting to buy, now's the time.
yeah,
Now's the time. You can always refinance as those rates drop. Here's what will happen over the next 6 months probably is rates will continue to come down.
yeah.
So that's going to put a
Probably another 2
lot
months.
more people in the housing market. We still have a shortage of houses.
Right.
Therefore, those houses,
The price is going to.
you've got supply and demand. So
Yeah.
those houses are going to go for more. So at the end of the day, you're basically paying the same, if not more, than you would be now
Right.
with the higher rates. So buy now, refinance 6 months, a year from now when the rates do drop,
Right.
and then you've got your house of your dreams.
Exactly.
You wait, it's going to be too late. You're going to pay too much. I mean, that's honestly it.
Right, wrong, or otherwise. That's how economics works.
Yeah. And
Rates
what's
go down, prices go up.
right now, what's good for buyers is you look at, the average listing price compared to the average sold price in Roanoke, and this is for all prices, so not just the median,
Right.
but houses are not going for over what the asking is, like it
for
was.
120K over asking,
So
sight unseen.
we're not seeing a whole lot of that. You are seeing it in the lower tiers, 200,000 and below, because there's not a lot of them, and what you're competing with now are investors.
Right.
But houses aren't going for overpriced, and some of them are taking even less.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I mean, it's definitely not a buyer's market, it's still seller,
Right.
but it's definitely
with 700 houses on
our market's starting to make a little bit of a turn. So
Right.
we'll see over the next 6 months of where it really goes.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully over the next 6 months, what it actually does is come back to normal or normal-ish.
And if you're watching and you want to have a discussion about the Roanoke area or just your house, if you live here, reach out to one of us. We've been doing it a while and good at what we do. And if we can't help you, we can definitely find the answers for you.
Without a doubt.
But
But
this is a great story right here.
it really is. Got a heartwarming story of resilience. Little Aubrey Scaletta, 7-year-old from Roanoke, danced in the Nutcracker after a miraculous recovery from losing her feet.
Yeah.
Of all things to lose as a dancer.
That's amazing.
It really is. It really is.
You had to, I bet she lit the whole room up when she came out. Probably wasn't any dry eyes out there.
Oh, and I bet they didn't wait till the end to stand up.
Right.
I bet everybody stood up, clapped, cheered.
Mm.
The rest of y'all can go home.
That's right. Yeah.
That's our story.
That's amazing. So she did the Nutcracker, not the crackhead.
Right.
that little boy, he's so funny. Have you seen that TikTok?
Which one?
So the little boy's in a store and he's looking at all these Nutcrackers and he's like, "We need one of these for the house." And the mom said, "What are they?" He goes, "They're crackheads." And so,
a lot of them are.
So, on different news in the Roanoke area, Roanoke, the rescue mission has seen a 30% increase. And I don't know if it's because, it can't be because of the cold, because last Christmas at this time, we had crazy cold because all the properties I managed, half of them, the pipes were froze.
Right.
So, but they've definitely seen a 30% increase in the area, and as U.S. homelessness has gone up, but I think it's gone up. I think it's at like 6%. So U.S. wide, but how much of it is being reported properly? And same way with Roanoke. I mean, just more people decided to get help, or there are more people that are actually homeless right now.
Well, and I mean that's just the rescue mission's numbers,
right? Yep.
Yeah. So, gas prices in Roanoke are up 6 cents in the last week, but we can discuss what we think is causing that.
Right.
Yeah.
News was slow this week.
It really was.
Yeah. This is kind of cool though. This next one, Valley Metro has decided. It is crackheads. Valley Metro has decided to expand with a microtransit service.
Okay.
So they'll be open on Saturdays. I think they're already open on Saturdays, but they didn't run on Sundays at all. So now they've decided to open on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. in a micro type thing. So you have to call a number, and they're actually going to come to your door, pick you up, and take you where you're going.
Oh wow!
For like $1.75, as long as it's still in the transit area, though.
Okay.
Like I couldn't call them and have them take me to Bedford for $1.75. But what it was is they had a big discussion at one of the meetings over the last week or so. And one of the ladies, her push on getting public transportation for Sundays was she wants to go to church.
Right.
I'd go to church if I could ride a bus. And
Right.
so after the meeting, one of the members came up and said, we already voted on that today, and it starts the 1st of January.
Oh,
So
awesome,
1st of
awesome.
January, you should probably start seeing some ads for it. Maybe next week we'll bring a number for everybody in case they need the ride.
Absolutely.
At first I thought, well, that's a good way for these people that they're moving out at the Apple Motel.
Right.
But then that's not part of the city bus.
No,
Not part of
it's
the metro
not.
area.
It's not.
And that's
Which actually kind of surprised me, but it also doesn't.
Yeah, and that's been delayed. And I thought I had that in our notes for tonight, but that's been delayed because they've had to install some new flooring and stuff like that. And,
Right.
and we had talked about why it couldn't be blocked or why people weren't trying to stop it. And with it being zoned as a hotel, it's already approved for short-term occupancy.
Right.
So there wasn't anything they could really do about it.
Right.
So
It was going to be good time, good money spent on bad results.
yeah. And so we'll still have to see down the road how that affects the community in that area. Some concerns, and they're legitimate. They're 2 blocks from an elementary school,
Right.
about a quarter of a mile from a private school.
Across the street from a Walmart.
Yeah, and so those are some legitimate concerns.
And a car dealership.
Yeah, so those are legitimate concerns for the community. So we'll have to see how it pans out. I love the community stepping in to help, but also, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. We'll see how it turns out. I drive by there 3 times a day. I'll let you know.
Yeah, but the Valley Metro thing's exciting. And I know one of our guys that works at McAdoo's, and maybe a couple of them ride the bus.
Right.
And on Sundays, they don't typically work because they don't have a ride. And so maybe this opens them up to at least being able to do some day hours and not have to take the whole day off.
Gotcha.
So who's hiring in Roanoke?
Just about everybody. Anybody who's a retailer, at least.
Yep. Coca-Cola's hiring.
Virginia Western is looking for a police officer and a registrar.
Mm-hmm. My mom used to be a registrar.
Oh, really?
She loved it. Yeah. She loved the register. She loved to do that. Then she retired from Virginia Western.
Gotcha.
So the 911 for Roanoke, I guess for Roanoke.
Dispatch.
Yeah, for dispatch. They're hiring too. So giving you those retail jobs plus some other jobs that could turn into, because you work for the state, that's some good benefits. Emily has joined us.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
We lost audio. You missed all the fun.
Yeah, had to restart the computer. And it was because we were talking bad about Chinese food being greasy, and they cut our internet off. So, but everybody's hiring if you're looking for a job. Things to do this weekend, not a lot, which I'm surprised.
Now, the Christmas farm on Back Creek Road is going on until the 6th.
Okay, that's awesome.
If you decide you want to just ride on out and check out some lights for real cheap.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. It's actually free. It's donation only, right? Yeah. Yep. So it's really free if you don't have any money. And then Illuminates is still going on. Blackberry Smoke is at the Berglund Center. I've never even heard of Blackberry Smoke.
Me neither. Definitely not as a band anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Lux, I watched a thing on this today. Lux said in California next month you can go to Burger King and work for $20 an hour. They raised the minimum wage in California.
$73 for a Whopper and
yeah, but I think one of the companies already laid off like 1,500 people.
God, who was it?
In anticipation.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Like a vape.
That's right.
It really does.
It does sound like a vape. Absolutely, or some type of cannabis plant. This is Blackberry Smoke.
Right before the Reaper.
Yeah.
Got the Rail Yard Dogs playing this weekend, playing the Huntsville Havoc at the Berglund Center.
Now I want to forgot what I was going to say.
Now you want to go to Southern
No,
Escapes
I want to create a pepper called the Black. Man, I wonder if I could cross pollinate a couple of different peppers and come up with like a purple hot pepper and call it the blackberry smoke.
That's right. I bet.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
That's on you, Emily.
All right. We already covered Illuminites.
Yeah, Illuminites, Elmwood Park, the Elmwood on Ice, and that goes on until the 6th.
Okay.
I think Illuminites is done. I think it's done the 31st. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's done the 31st, and I think most towns are doing some type of celebration. I know that like Buchanan is and Bedford is. Roanoke City, usually they have some kind of big thing going on. I didn't see anything for
But
it
I mean,
this year.
they've also got 75 bars downtown doing something.
Yeah.
How much money do you put into something
Right.
downtown?
But in years past, it's
Right.
been packed.
Right.
And people usually go to the bars after New Year's.
Right.
So they ring in New Year's and then they head to the bars.
What time do y'all close Sunday?
They close at 11, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're doing normal times, I believe.
Okay.
So I think they close till 11.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't work Sundays, so I don't work Sundays. I think it's kind of like Emily said, Roanoke used to ball drop. They did. They had a big ball drop. I volunteered one year, is when my ex and I first had separated and stuff. I didn't have the kids that weekend, so I was like, got to do something. So I volunteered to pour beer down there. I didn't even get a break. I was there for like 10 hours pouring beer. It was cold. I was wet. Yeah, it was not fun, but it was packed. And yes, they did have a ball drop. And like I said, this year I haven't heard a thing about it. I just know like Martin's and corned beef and all of them are having some kind of New Year's party.
Right.
So I don't know if they've just kind of been like, hey, let's, Roanoke City's like, let's let the bars make their money, or if they're like, hey, we just don't want to do it. I don't know.
I mean, Sherman Lee's not rerunning, so maybe he's just like, screw it.
Yeah, I'm just out. Yeah. I don't know. No, I've never heard of them. So that's about it. It's not a whole lot going on this weekend. Wasn't a whole lot of news. I mean, there was, just news that doesn't have any ending to it or any substance yet.
Right. But don't be a rookie. It is New Year's this weekend. Don't go drinking and driving. If you're gonna have something to drink, give us a ring if you're close. Lux, I love you to death, man. I love when you come on. I don't know that I'm gonna make it to California to get you home. We got a shot at getting Emily home or Mary home or.
I'm gonna be home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be passed out.
Yeah, I didn't see the numbers, and honestly, we don't have local TV anymore,
right?
And so that may be why I haven't seen commercials, because usually even on the radio they'll run different numbers to call if you're drunk and need a ride, and none of that this year. I think it's snuck up on everybody.
If you're out and drinking, there's usually, I know when I was drinking, they had something at every bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually visited 4 of them. So what I mean is at every bar, they would have a sign.
She says she's not leaving the house.
Me neither.
Well, I thought you were sneaking out and coming over and hanging out.
No.
I told him
I ain't starting my new year like that.
I told him, Mary, that he could, as all those people, because I get overwhelmed with that many people, but as all those people started coming to the house, he could kind of sneak out. And then right before New Year, sneak back in and be like, oh, yeah, I was talking to Uncle Ronnie over there. he had me hostage over there. And nobody'd ever have to know.
So do we want to see if anybody knows what this is for $25?
That's right. So I've got new crunchies. We've been working on it.
If you can guess, we got 1 or 2 $25 Visa gift cards to anywhere. I'm not exactly sure. It's very pink. And now that y'all can see it, another thing we did this week, Cadence got fingernail painting and makeup stuff for Christmas. So I got my nails did apparently. And Mary and I could not wipe it off with
It'll be all right.
yeah. So
Who cares about that? So yeah, it's pink, fluffy. Oh, she said cream saver. That was a good guess. Definitely crunchy. I don't know if you can see. Not a cream saver.
No,
What else could it be?
A little smaller. No, not a donut.
Oh no, it came out of the freeze dryer.
Oh my God, that needs like either a cinnamon or a vanilla.
What is a pink willy?
Hey, this is a family show, Lux.
Hi chew, no ma'am. One more guess.
I would not have guessed that when I picked it up, but that is amazing. Needs a little something cool to go with it.
We're gonna actually, that's a whole piece, so we're gonna actually start cutting them up.
Oh, okay.
Pink crunch. You're just making stuff up.
Emily.
Okay, we're gonna call it here. Emily is not right,
Oh.
or a little
I
bit.
thought you were.
No, but very close.
Okay.
So they're the little cinnamon discs that you get. I guess old people used to have, and so they're the little cinnamon discs. Here, I'll open one up. So just a hard candy
Okay.
and just the little cinnamon discs, kind of like a fireball.
Right.
And I guess old people used to have them a lot. I liked them as a kid. They used to be part of the penny candy. I
Right.
think they're in a different little wrapper.
Right.
So it's a whole piece, which is kind of a lot to eat.
Right.
So we're going to actually cut them in half and maybe even fourths.
Right.
But you have to actually heat up in the oven, and then you have to put them in the machine.
Gotcha.
Same way the Red Hots. I think I found Red Hots. They were called something else. They weren't red, so I don't know that they're truly Red Hots. But Red Hots you have to put in the oven and then transfer it over into your freeze dryer. The problem is our oven is upstairs and our freeze dryer is downstairs.
Gotcha.
So we got to try to run down the steps to before it cools off.
Gotcha.
And so those will be great, smaller, really good. And then we can run, because we got a little oven for the room and it was just too small to do any kind of mass something, anything.
Yeah.
So now that I know that I can run down the steps fast enough, we can do Starburst. It opens up to Starburst lemon heads, opens up to like the peppermints, the
Starlights.
Yeah, the Starlights. We could already do those, but in that little oven, we couldn't do enough.
Right.
So it opens us up to be able to do the Starlights to where they'll be puffy like that.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Right.
Lux is still talking about bands.
All right. I'm good with it. All right. I know the basics of where they live. Do you have a way to get Emily?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. We're going to call you a winner, Emily. Oh, I can delete comments and everything.
Don't go deleting her.
Nah, we'll put her in. You can even put somebody in timeout
But
here.
again, I don't know. She ain't show up till like 8:48.
I know they came in, took some money, and went home. So, but I'll get the gift card to you. It's $25. Or if you're coming to town before that, just let me know and I'll put it in the mailbox for you.
There you go.
So, anything besides your big party and cleaning up after? Anything going on?
Other than that, just gonna watch the Notre Dame bowl game tomorrow. Mary is off a little bit next week, and the kids finally go back to school on Wednesday. I'm gonna open up study hall tomorrow.
Yeah. We used to make the kids angry because we'd wake them up early. Be like, hey, you're going to start back to school. You got to get used to it.
Exactly.
What?
Encyclopedia.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
So, all right. We don't have anything. We just doing candy stuff and
There you go.
hanging out.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't have anything else if you don't.
No, now early next week or early the following week, maybe actually, because of school schedules and everything. If you or anybody you know is currently renting, let us know. We'd like to talk to them. You know, at the end of the day, we don't necessarily care too much about selling houses. It's about the opportunity.
Yeah, well, just the education part of it. I mean, there are people that are saving for down payments on houses and things. Not saying that you shouldn't put a down payment down because I'm not a financial planner.
Right.
But there are grants out there for up to $25,000 to go towards a down payment, to go towards closing costs and stuff. And most people don't know about them. So our launch for No Renter Left Behind is kind of a, hey, we're here to educate the community on.
Right.
We'd love for you to use us to buy,
right.
But if we can educate you and you can go buy even with somebody else, that's all cool.
Right.
It's just,
as long as you have at your disposal what you need.
Yeah. And we have
what you want.
Yeah. And you and I have worked very hard over this last year to put together a team that, if you have credit problems, then we've got somebody that can help you with that. If
we got a number and an email.
If you don't know what your credit is at all, we have somebody for that.
Right.
So we put together a really good team to be able to make sure that the person that's never bought a house or hasn't bought a house in a long time, they're navigated through everything that's going on. Things have changed. Even if you bought a house 10 years ago, now things have changed. There are documents needed now that weren't needed 10 years ago.
Right.
There are things that the lender needs now that they didn't need 10 years ago. And I hear that from people that are like, I bought a house in 2006 and they didn't. Well, you probably didn't even have to. You just had to show me how to pulse, and you were good.
Right. If you wet signed, you're good.
You have to wet sign. I mean, we had a lender that we would submit the paperwork, and the next day we were ready to close.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so.
And then 6 months later, we're at the closing table. Sign now. I haven't gotten a call.
The process has changed so much. Even what people believe that home inspectors do, they don't really do. It's what's working that day that they can check. So if that thing breaks the day after you move in, they didn't know it was going to break.
Right.
So the education part of this is tremendous, so that when you do get that first house, you're not like, oh God, I did not know that.
Right.
So, but that we are launching that, and thanks for bringing that up. So anyway, if you're out and about this weekend, be safe. Don't drink and drive and be stupid.
Yeah, be smart. Make good decisions.
And then this is a thing, AI. I don't like it. So anyway, have a good night. Oh,
don't forget. Well, no.
JR's house. What time y'all starting now?
It'll be too late. But hey, if you have access to Chat GPT or some kind of AI, the jackpot is $725 million for Saturday.
Yep.
Ask ChatGPT what they would play.
Play it and see if you win. Absolutely.
It's going to beat my numbers.
So.